now go.
I'm Barry Shaw. This is the view from Israel, Israel at war. Look, I have to tell you that I had a scripted, dispassionate description of what was happening during the day yesterday, and I thrown it away because, quite frankly, this morning I've seen other very distressing things, and I'd like to address those today. I'll do a very quick roundup at the end. I have been terribly upset by watching what's going on in the world's capitals when thousands of people with the right of free speech are taken to the streets of your capitals and your major towns in support of Hamas, the Palestinian ISIS, with all sorts of lies and aspersions about the poor Palestinians and everything. There's 1,300 Jews, babies, girls, grandmothers, or whatever, have been killed. And goodness knows how many more have been dragged into hostage capacity. I'm losing my speech, I know. I heard people being interviewed by reporters in places like New York saying, do you approve of babies being killed and beheaded, burnt? And they say, show me the pictures. Well, I don't know better judgment, but our Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, released certain pictures and everything. And instead of being in horror, the pro-Palestinian, the pro-Hamas, the pro-ISIS apologists said it was all this Jewish and Israeli high-tech and artificial intelligence. These pictures aren't true. You can't win this war of truth with these evil liars. The other thing that upset me was that we have seen, and I'm sure you may have seen, some girl being driven off by these Palestinian animals on a motorbike, crying, pleading with people for help. And we always assumed that this girl had been taken hostage into Gaza, or whatever her fate there would have been. But this morning, before I came on air, Palestinian warriors, heroes, whatever these crowds in Sydney and New York and London and other places call them, released footage of what happened to the girl. She was driven probably about 100 meters beyond the initial cameras to another place where she was taken off the motorbike, doused with fuel and set on fire. I just saw this about 10 minutes before I came on air. So I am visibly distressed. Earlier than that, we've been hearing obviously about even survivors being taken captive. We saw one this morning on our news channel over here of a Jewish grandmother being ridden into Gaza and arriving in Gaza on the back of some motorbike and being taken off. And the crowds of people there chanting Allah Akbar in Arabic was soul destroying to watch this. This shame hits us every day. And if anybody doesn't realize that we're at the beginning of a universal war of God against evil, you're in denial. Let me just point out as I scribbled out just a few minutes before I came on air, just to put it as dispassionately as I can. Again, I've just scribbled it out before Laura's, my producer, opened the camera. Hamas, Israel warned and instructed people to leave Gaza 2 days ago and yesterday, and reminded them again, get out now as quickly as you can. And Hamas insisted that they stayed, and they put up a physical presence to stop them leaving Gaza City. That is a war crime. Killing babies is a war crime. Burning young Israeli Jewish girls to death is a war crime. Taking Holocaust survivors, women and yes, children into hostage in Gaza to be held as human shields is a war crime. Rocketing Israeli towns is a war crime. Killing babies, raping girls is a war crime. When will the human rights organizations, when will the United Nations, when will your government speak up and speak as clearly as this? Day after day, minute after minute, Palestinians are committing war crimes. And yet, we are being warned by the United Nations that if we go into Gaza too heavily, do something that's not to satisfaction, we, Israelis, are going to be dragged to the International Criminal Court. We are in a war of good over evil. I want you people to wake up to that. We are fighting a battle for you in the free world, because meanwhile, when you in the free world are protecting free speech, when people in Australia are chanting, "Gas the Jews, Allah Akbar," in the name of free speech, protected by the Australian police, that is not what a free world is supposed to be doing. These people are sympathizers. These people are affiliating themselves with an internationally recognized terrorist organization, and they should be treated as such. I just want to end, because I always want my videos to be short, with one thing to expose a lie that was been told, I'm sorry to say it, by the Biden administration who are helping us. And we've been hearing from the Biden administration, there is no direct evidence that Iran is involved in this conflict between us and Hamas. Well, just last night, we saw a video from a newsreel, from an Arab channel, probably from Qatar, of a summit that is taking place today between representatives of Iran, representatives of Qatar, together with representatives of Hamas, and yes, representatives of Hezbollah. I don't know what they're cooking up right now in Qatar, but there is direct evidence of involvement of Iran of what's going on here in Israel right now. And I demand of the Biden administration to take the blinkers off their eyes, the blinkers and also from Blinken's eyes, in order to face the truth. There is direct involvement. There has been for years, and it's going on today. I really don't have the heart to tell you, the price details of what's going on. We have warned yesterday Lebanon, after they've been firing rockets from Lebanon, that if any reprisal has to come, the Lebanese government has to take direct responsibility for it. Last night, for another night, and also today, Israeli planes are still targeting with as much precision as we can the Hamas infrastructure. Much of Gaza City that belongs to Hamas is being gradually destroyed in advance of a potential land incursion by our sons and brothers, grandsons, husbands, fathers. That's all I've got the heart for telling you today. Please share this video. Please share this video. And I hope to come back to you tomorrow morning, calmer, more dispassionate, with a more detailed view of what is going on the battlefront and also the diplomatic world as we fight evil. This is Barry Shaw, The View from Israel, Israel's war against evil.
אנו מכריזים בזאת